So here's something, kind of switching gears a little bit, but a question or an idea for you guys. With regards to cryptocurrency, right? And I don't know if you guys have heard this, but a couple of times now by different news outlets, Bitcoin has been referred to as digital gold, and it's kind of like transitioning to this kind of, buy and hold kind of mentality, right? Like gold is. So the reason people invest in gold is because it holds its value independently of any one country, because it's a limited resource on the planet, right? It operates on a deflationary model. That's the same exact thing as Bitcoin, but it's completely synthetic, right? Completely synthetic in every way. There's no actual need to limit the number of Bitcoin, but that's just the way it was decided it would take place, and that's the way it'll be. So if we talk about expanding our capabilities past Earth, right, and we become multiplanetary and we start doing asteroid mining, now gold no longer becomes a finite resource, right? Now we can just go get more gold from some other rocky body, and gold no longer has the value it once used to, because it is now easily accessible in virtually unlimited quantities. So,
which is good because we can use it in superconductors and other electronics more without this artificial inflation on a physical resource.
True. But what's interesting to me is once we expand past the Earth and now all naturally occurring resources become virtually infinitely accessible, we will have to synthetically create deflationary assets to hold value, which is what Bitcoin is doing. And this is not something I've heard really much of any news talking about, but to me, that's the biggest selling point for Bitcoin.
Oh,
well, I think these aren't talking about because it's probably 50 years away.
It's definitely far off in the horizon, but who cares if it's 50 years? The further away it is, the better it is for the investor now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cryptocurrency is going to be the
very
future.
Interesting idea.
So that's just kind of your comment about expanding past the Earth in terms of resource collection just reminded me of that thought I had a couple weeks ago when I was doing reading.
No, it's very valid. There has to be other people looking into it. It might not be being covered, but there's definitely researchers and intellectuals thinking about this, much like ourselves.
What would happen if we suddenly had access to vast amounts of rare minerals?
Our technology would increase.
You wouldn't want to own gold anymore, right? You wouldn't. Well, from an investment standpoint, you wouldn't want to own gold.
Definitely not for the same reason you used to, at a minimum.
Right? Yeah. You still maybe do want to trade it, but you wouldn't want to hold it.
Or you like it aesthetically. It could still, besides having a monetary value, it is like just looking at resources we have on Earth. Yeah, it is very aesthetically.
It has cultural implications at that point. Yeah, that's also true. But if you're investing in gold, sitting at your desk at home, you're not actually getting real gold. So
yeah, no, the day of materials-based currencies are over.
Right, and that's pretty crazy, and that's a paradigm shift that 99% of the world is, one, not prepared for, two, doesn't know is going to happen because it will, and three, would not understand why.
Yeah, it'll come in time. My parents started getting it, that you just use your credit and debit cards. Just especially with the pandemic, we've rotated away from a cash-based economy. So it might as well be cryptocurrency at this point, because I digitally invest in stocks online. I buy most of my stuff online during the pandemic. I use my card whenever I go to a store. So it's... Yeah,
the only difference is you're still using that currency, right, that's backed by the U.S. government, in its non-physical essence, which is exactly what cryptocurrencies are. It's the same thing.
It's just, instead of being backed by a government, it's backed by
the people who use it, right? It's only worth as much as everyone who use it agrees it's worth, which makes it independent of any single government.
which is good. But for now, I mean, who actually knows? But the U.S. government's the least stable it's ever been, but still stable enough to where I can trust that. But
yeah, I'm not
investing
saying
in cryptocurrency is still a great idea.
I'm definitely not saying that the US dollar will become irrelevant, and Bitcoin's certainly not replacing fiat currencies. It is definitely not doing that, right? It is much more akin to gold in terms of where it brings investing value than an actual currency that's used to make daily purchases. It's not, I don't think it'll ever be used that way. I think it's more of like a place to park
you said
assets.
that, though, because I know that in countries where they don't have strong currencies, they do use, and people hold their entire value in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and they do use that stuff on a regular basis because their national currency has no value.
Is it Bitcoin? I do know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's Bitcoin.
I don't know if it's Bitcoin, but that's all. They do use cryptocurrency. It might not be Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They use Dogecoin, I heard.
Yeah, Dogecoin, exactly.
Of course.
No, yeah, they do use... Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't think it's... I'm pretty sure it isn't Bitcoin, but yeah, they are...
I wouldn't be surprised if it
Yeah, a
wasn't.
couple of third, like, extremely financially unstable countries are turning to cryptocurrencies to try and rebuild value in their,
Which
in
is
their
good.
currency.
Just the citizens inside, they just don't see a point in holding their national currency because it's worthless.
Right. Yeah, they have to play.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
pay extreme sums for even basic things. So
So I mean, Bitcoin can be used in that manner, right?
yeah, it definitely could.
If the people who you interact with and do business with also use Bitcoin.
This brings up the interesting aspect of like something like Bitcoin could theoretically be a much larger changing event for humanity than people think. Because like Bitcoin would have prevented World War II. Germany wouldn't have had this massive like deflation problem with their currency or inflation problem with their currency with the like people were using like wheelbarrows full of coins to go pay for a loaf of bread because the currency had just like gotten so shot.
Mm-hmm.
If they had like cryptocurrency, like what you're saying, in unstable regions now, it lets the people separate their financial independence away from the state. Almost anarchistic in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting comment about World War II. I mean,
It was almost like Hitler was
If
able to
Bitcoin-
rile people
yeah.
up on the idea that like, look, we're being screwed over. Our currency is destroyed because these other countries aren't letting us do anything.
Well, I think the reason that Bitcoin may have helped in that situation is because it's not tied to the economic success of an individual country. So, like, it would have worked in that way, but even still, we don't know what a world that uses decentralized currencies regularly looks like. You know what I
Well,
mean?
we're about to find out
Yeah, we definitely will shortly.
in our lifetime.
yeah.
For sure, which is actually very, very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think maybe it was J.P. Morgan. I might be wrong, but they wrote an article or a paper on why they think that Bitcoin will hit $146,000. I don't think they gave a timeline for it, but they think it will hit that figure at some point, I guess, within the reasonable future. And I guess they kind of made their prediction around, in comparison to gold, right? How much does it cost to mine gold versus the value that it holds? Because as we mine more gold, right, we have to dig further. We have to go to more extreme measures to continue to find more gold that wasn't as easily as accessible as before. So every time we mine more gold, it became more expensive to obtain that gold, making it more expensive to purchase. And the other thing is we don't know exactly how much gold is in the earth. So we don't know how much we'll have to spend to get all that gold, and we don't know how long we're going to spend digging for it. So it makes the future of gold's price relatively unknown. But with Bitcoin, we know exactly when we will earn all obtainable Bitcoin. To the date, like to the day, we know exactly.
Yeah, that's...
Which makes it much more predictable
weird.
than gold is.
Except that people can lose Bitcoin.
Well, you can lose gold, I guess, technically.
But like...
I know someone else could rediscover it, which is one thing that you can't do with Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, once you lose Bitcoin, you lose like if you forget your login to Coinbase or something. Which, speaking of which, I need you guys to help me set that up later, because this talk has got me juiced to spend some money on the crypto market. But like, say you lose your Coinbase,
your
login,
crypto
right?
wallet key, your private key is what is ultimately defines your holding of Bitcoin.
Yeah, you could just be fucked.
Yeah,
lose that. I saw it in the news recently. Some guy lost $1.3 million in there.
Oh, people have lost more.
But at that point, how does that affect inflation?
Well, it doesn't. Bitcoin cannot inflate, right? It's deflationary because it's finite in quantity. That's why fiat currencies are inflationary,
I get it.
because the government who backs the value of that currency can print more at any time, watering down the supply versus the demand. With a deflationary model, it's finite, so the more that's exchanged, it can only increase in value. The only reason it would decrease...
Theoretically, at some point, someone could accrue all the Bitcoin and no one else would have money.
I mean, yes, theoretically, but realistically, no, that's impossible.
Yeah. Interesting concept, though. Mm-hmm. Good sci-fi book.
Good sci-fi book, indeed.
The man who bought all the Bitcoin.
And it then became worthless because now he has nothing to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually interesting.
Well, are you recording as well, Nick? No, I was just asking if you're recording your audio. Well, let me see. So let me know how audible this snap is to you guys. Is that soft?
Pretty audible. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna snap. So you guys can do whatever. But I'll count 3, 2, 1, and then after 1, do whatever. Alright? What? I didn't hear it. No, do it again. Okay, I heard that one. Nick, you do one.
You didn't hear that?
Not at all.
I have to do it right next to my mic. I can't really snap very loudly right now.
You can't slap loudly right now? Yeah, go ahead. Start.
I got
recording.
I can't do it, I guess.
I don't know.
You're not hearing that?
You just have to clap.
I guess slap. Was that a clap? Do you have
clap,
Nick?
Nick?
Up clapping. I am.
What's so hard about clapping?
I'm doing it right next to my mic. You guys don't hear that?
Do you have the Discord super noise canceling thing turned on?
No, I
You don't even have that on?
Okay. Well, let's just do it anyway. I feel like we could figure it out if Nick just makes a noise.
Okay, wait. Oh no. Okay, maybe we do this.
Why do
instead.
I need to make a noise? I don't understand.
Because I need to be able to sync the audio timelines. Let's do this instead. I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then we'll all say go at the same time. How about that?
Okay, that works.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
That was terrible. That was so out of sync.
That was awful, yeah.
It sounded good in my ears. I don't know what you're talking about.
It went me, Joe, and then Nick. In very clear succession. But that's okay. Maybe I can use that close enough. The timing wasn't terrible, so I think I could use that. That should be alright.
Perfect.